Welcome, everyone. Noah here on the Dynamics Weekly newsletter and podcast. This is a special series of podcasts about Dynamic Communities Community Summit, which is scheduled for October 19th through the 23rd in Orlando, Florida. Here it is already towards the end of June, so this will be here in no time at all. If you have not registered for Summit yet, jump out of their website and check out the agenda, list of speakers. There's a lot of stuff lined up for that week down in Orlando. And we'll be talking with Academy class and session presenters leading up to the conference. And today we have with us Beth Burrell. Hey, Beth, how you doing?
Hey, Noah, how's it going? I'm doing well.
It is going well. We just had a short little conversation before we started this about Pensacola, and you are down from further south Florida, Land O'Lakes, pretty close to Orlando already.
Yep, I'm about an hour from, I'm from Orlando and 20 minutes from Tampa.
Awesome. So, I mean, and you've probably been to Orlando plenty of times.
It's a great venue, and October's great weather, so it should be a lot of fun.
Exactly, yes. So you are listed as one of the speakers for Summit there. The title, Global Black Belt Principal Technical Specialist at Microsoft. So quite a little title there.
I joke around, I have the coolest title in Microsoft.
Yeah, it is awesome.
And but yeah, it just means I'm a SME in certain areas. And I do a lot of the pre-sales technical show and tell, as well as answer questions about integrations and how the products work with customers' current environments.
And you've been in the Microsoft arena for quite a while, huh?
Yeah, I've been here. Well, I've been here quite a bit. I think I've talked at Summit 8 or 9 years in a row. Minus the COVID years are the only times that I probably did not speak there. And somebody I worked with got me into speaking at one or co-hosting a session, and it's a joke. I joke around. It's like crack, right? Once you do it, you want to keep coming back and do more. So,
I understand.
And the one thing I love about Summit is you get to see what users are actually using the products for. Like, I'm from Microsoft, so I kind of live a little bit in utopia about, hey, these are what the products do. This is what it's going to do, and very Microsoft centric. But users tend to not always follow the utopia story, just like everything else. And they might integrate with something I'd never heard of or do something different that I haven't seen. So I love to see what the end users and the companies are actually doing with the product inside and out. And that's the best part about Summit, is you get to see so many different flavors of the product.
And there are plenty of those flavors out there. They are adding to them constantly for our community.
Absolutely.
Which is great. Adding productivity to the whole commerce arena. So keeping us all in touch with each other. So great platforms are rolling out for us.
Absolutely.
So you have one session that week. It's not scheduled for a particular date or time yet, just a session. We'll talk about that. The whole Summit schedule is slated for October 19th, which is a Sunday, actually, through the 23rd. Are you going to be down there the whole time, the whole week?
I'll probably be there like Monday to Wednesday or Thursday. It depends on what my session is, really. I would love to be there the whole week, but I have, a day job to do. So it really depends on how busy that, right now I have it scheduled for the week, but it depends how busy my work schedule is on top of, and when my session is.
Yep. And speaking of the session, the title of it is Success by Design, Tips on Implementing D365 Contact Center. This is a new session for you? Have you done this one before?
We've done it once before, and we've learned that we got to pare it down a little bit because we had so many questions. We didn't probably get through 3/4 of our material, because what happens is contact centers kind of used to be part of customer service, right? It was, you had to have Dynamics 365 customer service to install contact center. Basically, it's customer service with channels like voice, chat. And then they last July, they decoupled it from customer service so you can install it on your own. It's still based on the Power Platform, model-driven app, but they took out the CRM pieces. So, and the biggest challenge people have is people think that because they know Dynamics, they can implement this easily. On the same turn, people who think they know telephony or chatbots think they can implement it easily. And really, it's a combination of the two, right? And Copilot Studio, which is the center of all our agents, and agents is a new word, right? New definition these last year or so.
Mm-hmm.
Is the centerfold of a lot of the bots. And right now, agents are anything that interacts with the end user, where even if it's automatic, now we're we used to call agents the people who answer the phone or the people who answer the emails or the chats, and now we're calling them customer service reps because we don't want to confuse the world with their agents that they may have in Copilot Studio. Still confusing, but we're getting there.
And one of the objectives listed is questions to ask about before migrating from another system. So this breakout session looks at the migration as part of that process from other non-Microsoft solutions to this platform.
Yeah, what happened is our fast track, I don't know if everybody knows our fast track team. They're the people that get engaged to help implementations for people who buy our products. We have Microsoft fast track team, which is for the enterprise large customers, and then we have fast track engineers and architects that Microsoft trains to do it for partners, right? So the partners can have the same methodology, and their methodology is called Success by Design. And really, it's not going to go into the weeds, but it'll tell you what you need to know, what you need to find out to make sure your implementation is successful. Well, again, when you're going from CRM to CRM, it's become very mainstream to know what to needs to be moved over, what needs to be migrated, what you need to check the discovery. But with the contact center piece and the channels piece, it's a whole different animal because our competitors started from telephony and they grew into a software package, right? And we've started through a software package and interjoined all Microsoft products, right? We have we have one platform, right? It's on Azure, an Azure tenant. It integrates with Microsoft 365, so it's more secure, in my opinion, than most because you already have the security layers in place. You don't have to have separate security layers for each. It's just the only main part you have to do is your application layers. So if Noah's an admin, he needs the admin rights. If I'm just a call taker, then I just the call taker rights. So there really is a thought process to implementing it. It's not just install the application and run.
Gotcha. And your target audience for this is probably mainly partners, but do you bring in, do you expect many client users to come in as well?
Yeah, I honestly don't know that it's partners is our main goal. We have a lot of people who are looking to migrate, whether they're running, all of our partners, whether they're running Genesis or NICE or some other, and and everybody has somebody, either a project manager or someone in their IT department responsible for business applications, right? So it really tells them what kind of information they have to gather, what they should expect during, migration. It really gives them, hey, this is how we have to look at this migration. It's just not, because when you have like an IVR or a decision tree, right, or a chat bot, you want to make sure you're having the right decisions for the customers, because how many times have you been on a call and you got routed to 20 different people, for a company? Or or your wait time's 20 minutes. I mean, it's really frustrating. And then on top of that, we have the people who are like, my son's 19, about to be 20, and he would rather stick a needle in his eye than talk to a live person. So he wants all self-help, right? And then you have, or a lot of people are that way since COVID, right? And then you have the people who are in their 80s or 70s who only want to talk to a live person. They don't trust it unless a live person tells them. So, so you want to make sure you're looking for all that kind of thing, all those kind of pieces, and you want to make sure people know what to expect. Because I heard people like, oh, well, we want it so that it never goes to a person. Well, we're really not in that time yet. We're getting there. Or some people say, oh, I want, and average handle time to be lower. Well, here we come with some of the bots, right? With the agents, right? You're gonna have self-help agents, and then you have agents that help the customer service rep answer the call if they're on a live call. So there's a lot of help on both ends, and you just want to make sure you have that balance. So everybody, whichever way a customer is being serviced, they're getting the same treatment. How many times have you called a company and you call 3 times to get 3 different answers? And this is just helping
Yes,
things.
I've done that.
Yeah. So this is, and it's not, again, a lot of this is, it's only as good as the data you put out there, but a lot of this is going to help you with that kind of experience. And so end users or companies, we have a big company now that, they want to understand the whole process. They don't want to just, it's hard to always trust a partner to do if they don't know the business, right? They need to understand the business, and some of them do and some of them don't, right? I'm not saying, just like anything else, there's some really great partners out there and there's some partners that are, just want to get the job done. So it really helps the customer understand what the process would be like and what questions to ask, when they have to do this.
Gotcha. And this is slated as a breakout session, aiming for about 60 minutes or so. Is it mainly going to be presentation and questions, or will you be in product while you're doing this session?
Well, the goal is to be in product, in some in product, but it really depends on the interaction. Like we're very pliable. I'm not one of those people that just, I don't live and die by PowerPoint. It would drive me crazy. It really would drive me crazy. I'm a techie at heart. But like I said, the one time we did the session, we had so many questions. We had so many people asking questions. We didn't always necessarily get, like, we showed some screens, but we didn't necessarily get to the meat and potatoes of the demo, right? So I'll tell you, we have a plan for both. It's just, let's see how it goes, because this is last one we thought we had good material, and really we probably left, we shared the slides and everything, but we didn't get to the whole thing because it was only a 60-minute session, and we had to exit the room for the next session.
Gotcha. And you are co-presenting this with Joseph Thomas. I have not spoken with Joseph yet, so you have a
Joseph is
Microsoft as well.
Yeah, well, Joseph and I have known each other for over 10 years. He and I both worked at a partner before coming to Microsoft, and we went our separate ways. But he is a technical person that does helps with the implementation. He's got several contact center implementations under his belt. He knows what Microsoft Success by Design is. And I have more the underlying hood technology, but he is a great person. I've known him for a long time, and he's one of the most honest people as far as, he's going to tell you, he's not going to sugarcoat it. He's going to tell you how it is. So
great, awesome.
Which I like, right? That's what my personality is. I like that. So we have a good chemistry, and he's more in the background than I am. But yeah, and he presented, I think, one other time, and then he presented with me last year on this subject. So I don't think he's got he hasn't done a lot of the public speaking yet, but we're changing that.
Okay.
But he's a great guy. He's a great guy. You guys can ask him anything and he'll tell you yes, no, or he'll look into it.
Awesome. So for everybody listening, the name of this session is Success by Design, Tips on Implementing D365 Contact Center. Beth Burrell and Joseph Thomas are co-presenting this session. You'll find this under the categories for Agents and Copilot, Dynamics 365 CE/CRM, and Power Platform. A lot of great material they're going to put in this breakout session for you. And Beth, so Microsoft will have I'm sure they'll have that large booth in the expo hall. Will you be working the expo hall booth for a bit?
I will be. I'll be probably there when I'm not for the days I'm not presenting. I'm not sure the hours yet. I don't know if they publish the hours of the expo hall yet, but I should be there most of the time.
So they're rolling out the mobile app probably in July, which probably have the contact information for people if people have questions for you about your session before or after the session, you just want to use that mobile app, or do you want to use LinkedIn for contacting you and Joseph, or some other means?
Well, you can do LinkedIn, or you can go to beth.burrell@microsoft.com. The only thing I'll tell you is that we get tons and tons of email at Microsoft and so if for some reason I don't answer, just try again. I'm pretty responsive, but if you saw how much email I've worked for a long time in this industry, and I've never seen the email that I get at Microsoft. But LinkedIn's a good way to get hold of me too. If it's a sales pitch, I won't answer. But if it's questions about how-tos and what's being done, happy to answer.
Great, awesome. Well, that's going to be a great session for everybody down in Orlando. Again, that's in October. So
bring your kids.
Beth,
I can go to Disney World. You can go to Disney World or Adventure or what or what's Universal while you're in Orlando and going to conference.
The venue is a great location for all that, and the venue itself is a great hotel as well.
Yes.
They have the huge atrium with all those waterways and little bridges and turtles and alligators even inside the building.
Yes, and they have restaurants in there. And honestly, if you don't want to go outside, you don't have to for the whole week.
You're right. Yeah, they can go spend time. They have a huge pirate ship in that main atrium area. You wouldn't even have to leave property. But if they do decide to go to Disney World, that is a short jump across the down the road, not far away at all. Universal is a little bit further, but not too much in the distance.
Well, so I have a couple of friends, a couple people who are, I have a couple people who are going because they don't want to go do the rides and sit in line, so they're sending their families or they work.
Yep. All right, Beth, I will start wrapping this up, but any points you want to bring up about Summit or about your session before we wrap up this call?
No, like I said, I recommend Summit to anybody who likes the technology, right? Whether it's Power Platform or Copilot Studio. I'm sure, you know, because it really is like a lot of people are in their company and they don't know what everybody else is doing. And hey, you get some great ideas to bring back to your office and impress your managers on how you're going to make things better.
And meeting new people in your industry, in your area even, that are using the same products that you're working with. So it's a great networking and educational venue.
Absolutely. Every year, I've been doing it, like I said, for 8 or 9 years now, and every year I meet new people. So definitely a great place to network.
Great.
And if you're into it, a lot of parties afterwards. A lot of sponsors will have parties.
They do love doing those.
Yes.
Well, Beth, thanks for joining me today. It's always great to share with our audience news about upcoming events like Summit. And to all of our listeners out there, if you get a chance while you're down there at Summit, please try to meet and introduce yourself to Beth in person. It's always great to actually meet the person behind the emails and, associate a face with that digital contact point. So, and hopefully we will see you all in Orlando. Thank you, Beth, so much.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.